أهلا وسهلا. كيف حالكم؟ أرجو أن تكونوا بخير. We are still talking about nouns and the focus today is on their gender. We have touched upon genders during the previous lesson, so you already know that there are only two genders in the Arabic language. That is to say, unlike the English language, all nouns in Arabic have a gender, which means that there are no neutral nouns. Now, here is the trick. The absence of the neutral gender in Arabic actually means that every noun has to fall under either the category of masculine or the category of feminine. There is no room for neutral gender at all. Therefore, we will hopefully provide you with enough landmarks during this lesson, which will in turn help you find your way out of this noun's gender maze. Now, please take a look at your screen. As you can see, in English we have three distinct nouns gender: feminine, neutral, and masculine, whereas in Arabic we only have two: feminine and masculine. First and foremost, I want you to keep in mind that we are not getting rid of neutral nouns, simply because it doesn't make sense at all. Every word has its equivalent in any other language, and Arabic is no exception. And I can easily hear you automatically asking yourselves, what about the words that don't have a gender in English, such as school or book? Are they considered as feminine or masculine in the Arabic language? Well, determining a noun's gender in Arabic abide by rules that we are going to explain shortly afterwards. For the time being, let's set this aside and focus on some terminology along with an explanation of why we care about nouns' gender. Right. Terminology-wise, we do call gender jins in Arabic. Jins can mean sex, gender, or type. But as far as grammar is concerned, jins means grammatical gender, and the Arabic language has only two genders. Feminine is called mu'annath and masculine is called mudhakkar. So again, jins means gender, mu'annath means feminine, mudhakkar means masculine. And again, the neutral gender does not exist in Arabic. Now, what we are going to do is to try to answer these two questions. Why do we care about nouns' gender? And how do we know if a noun is feminine or masculine? Alright, first of all, we care about nouns' gender because it is a decisive factor in forming the adjective that will modify, i.e. describe the noun itself. Feminine nouns take feminine adjectives, whereas masculine nouns take masculine adjectives. It is also a critical factor in choosing the correct demonstrative pronoun, not to mention that it also has an impact in conjugating the verb when it comes to verbal sentences. Since we didn't study all of these grammatical concepts yet, I'm not going to go into details about this section. Nevertheless, the main purpose behind this general idea is to explain how important nouns' gender is in terms of the structure of any sentence, and to explain that words that directly interact with any noun will often mirror the gender of the noun itself. Therefore, successfully determining nouns' gender is a survival skill in Arabic since the whole sentence relies on it. Okay, let's move on to our discussion of nouns' gender and learn how to tell masculine and feminine nouns apart. And please, before starting this new section, let me get the record straight. Please keep in mind that the general guideline we are about to walk you through is about singular nouns. I cannot stress this enough. We are talking about singular nouns. We didn't study neither the dual nor the plural form yet. With that in mind, let's begin. Right. So here is your golden rule when it comes to nouns' gender. All Arabic nouns are masculine unless they are proven to be feminine. Again, all Arabic nouns are masculine unless they are proven to be feminine. So one can deduce from this that number one, masculine is the default gender in the Arabic language, and number two, the majority of nouns are masculine. Now, let's see what feminine nouns are and how to identify them easily. From an English speaker perspective, this process of recognizing feminine nouns can be easy to follow when the nouns are referring to humans, like Sarah or which means mother. But remember, gender in Arabic applies to all nouns, even to things that don't have a gender in a physical sense, such as apple. We do call apple tufaha in Arabic, and it is a feminine noun. So what makes it classified as feminine? Well, let's delve into the analysis to help you sort things out. As usual, I'm going to state all the rules at one go and then move on to the explanation of each one separately. So, in no specific order, nouns are considered feminine if they refer to female human beings, or if they show one of the three feminine endings in Arabic, which are تا مربوطة, ألف التأنيث الممدودة, or ألف مقصورة. Moving on to the third rule, nouns are considered feminine if they refer to the name of a town, a city, or a country, or if they refer to body parts which come in pairs. And last but not least, a very limited number of Arabic nouns are considered feminine by convention, i.e., used as feminine nouns by native speakers. So again, all Arabic nouns are considered masculine unless they fall under one of the 5 categories just mentioned. Let's now take a close look at each one separately. First on the list, nouns are considered feminine if they refer to female human beings, and this is by far the easiest one out of the batch. So basically, if you have a proper name such as Zainab or Sarah, all you will have to do is to go with the gender of the person under that name. And let's not forget to also mention exclusively feminine concepts like أخت, bint, and جدة. Moving on. Now, on the threshold of the second rule, which is all about feminine endings, I would love to insist on the fact that even though a noun's gender can be determined by its form, this doesn't deny the fact that every rule has an exception. Therefore, we will walk you through the general rules as well as some of the exceptions in order to make this lesson a complete guideline. Right, with that in mind, let's delve in. If you didn't lose the thread, we are talking about the second rule. Nouns are considered feminine if they have one of the 3 feminine endings, تا مربوطة, ألف التأنيث الممدودة, or ألف مقصورة. When it comes to تا مربوطة, nouns that end with it are nearly always feminine, and there is only a couple of counter-examples to this rule that you don't really need to worry about, since the majority of them are masculine proper names that you will get used to as you go through basic Arabic. Have a listen, please. زجاجة, برتقالة, ساعة, باخرة. As you can see, all of these nouns end with تا مربوطة, and they are all feminine nouns. As to the exceptions, حمزة, طلحة, معاوية, and علامة, the first 3 are masculine proper names, and actually masculine proper names represent the majority of the exceptions of تا مربوطة. Therefore, you really don't need to worry about them, since you will get accustomed to these as you build up your vocabulary. So to sum up, Nouns are considered feminine if they end with تا مربوطة. Moving on to the second feminine ending known as ألف التأنيث الممدودة. This ending is nothing but an alif followed by a hamza. Be careful please, the hamza is sitting aloof on the line. And when it comes to nouns ending with this pattern, they are considered as feminine. Here we have a couple of examples. سماء, صحراء, نداء, رثاء. One more time. سماء, صحراء, نداء, رثاء. Again, every rule has an exception, and the most common one that you will definitely come across is ماء. Even though it ends with ألف التأنيث الممدودة, ماء is beyond a shadow of a doubt a masculine noun. Right. Last but not least, our final feminine ending is ألف مقصورة. For those of you who don't know what ألف مقصورة is, ألف مقصورة is an alif drawn as ثلاثية without the two dots underneath it. And it acts as a long vowel just like ألف does, and its matching short vowel is also فتحة. Now, here is the trick. ألف مقصورة is strictly used at the end of words. And by words we mean اسم, فعل, حرف. The three parts of speech can end with ألف مقصورة. However, ألف مقصورة will only act as a feminine ending when it comes at the end of nouns. So be careful please. Particles and verbs are not included in this rule. Right, so now we all agree that ألف مقصورة is our third feminine ending when it comes to nouns. As usual, here come the examples, from right to left. تقوى, بشرى, ذكرى. تقوى, بشرى, ذكرى. As counter examples we have مستوى and مستشفى. Again, please don't let these exceptions confuse you. Once you will build up your vocabulary and learn new words, you will realize that they are a drop in the ocean. That's it for the feminine endings. Let's now move on to the third rule. Nouns are considered feminine if they refer to the name of a town, a city, or a country. Couldn't be easier, isn't it? So whenever you spot a noun indicating one of these locations, you can confidently say that it is feminine. Such as مصر, إيطاليا, باريس. مصر, إيطاليا, باريس. And the good news is that even the exceptions to this rule are limited to the point of being listed. In fact, we only have 7 countries classified as masculine in the Arabic language, and these are الأردن, اليمن, العراق, لبنان, المغرب, السودان, الصومال. Again, الأردن, اليمن, العراق, لبنان, المغرب, السودان, الصومال. So again, nouns are considered feminine if they refer to the name of a town, a city, or a country, except for the 7 countries just mentioned because they are considered as masculine nouns. Now, the second to last rule is nouns are considered feminine if they refer to body parts which come in pairs. I know that it is a peculiar rule in Arabic, but you will get used to it. Just give it enough time to fall into place. So, an eye, an ear, a hand, all of these body parts that come in pairs are treated as feminine nouns. We are almost done with today's lesson, and all we have to do is to explain the last rule as well as briefly mentioning an important note. So, the fifth type of feminine nouns is nouns that are feminine by convention, i.e., used as feminine nouns by native speakers. And I really have to admit that there is nothing much to say about these nouns except that you will get used to them as you go through basic Arabic. And what might help you grasp the idea is to think of the words earth or nature in English. They are often referred to as she or mother. And the good news is that nouns that are feminine by convention represent a small and memorable category in the Arabic language. As examples we have أرض, ريح, شمس, نار, نفس, بئر. Again, أرض, ريح, شمس, نار, نفس, بئر. That's about it. That was our complete guideline about nouns gender. We highly recommend going through it a couple of times in order to get it down pat. Right, if you didn't lose the thread, we still have an important note, and that is there are a couple of nouns that can be either feminine or masculine in the Arabic language. Sounds intriguing, isn't it? Well, that's the charm of the Arabic language. When dealing with these nouns, it's really up to you to choose which gender you want to use or assign to them. This really gives a sense of control, and here we have some examples. طريق, سلم, سوق, عنق. طريق, سلم, سوق, عنق. These nouns can either be feminine or masculine, so don't be surprised when you see a difference like this. السوق بعيد, السوق بعيدة. There is nothing wrong with these two sentences, and if you don't know how to make a sentence yet, don't worry, we are only a couple of steps away from that. That concludes our lesson for today. شكرا على حسن استماعكم ومع السلامة.